the bone.
Are you ready? All right, everybody.
Pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
The conversation is about to get louder. You're listening to Miggs and Swig. Don Miggs, Ben Swig, Lisa, and JoJo. From music to marriage, from politics to parenting, from dating to deep thoughts and sports. Get ready for Miggs and Swig. Life out loud.
Let's get the show on the road.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Miggs and Swig Show. I am Don Miggs, and we are excited to be here with you this beautiful, I don't even remember if it is beautiful, Saturday morning. Back with Ben Swig, back with Lisa DeBartolo Miggs. And there is no JoJo because she is recovering from the Calta cruise. I guess you get 2 weeks for this thing.
I guess
Is that
so.
how
Yeah,
it rolls?
didn't it come to port like 3 days ago?
Whatever. She's recovering.
It must have been a rough one. I can't wait to
She
hear about
said
it.
they're 2 hours out still. I don't know what that means.
Well, Jamie,
like
have
to
you ever
cruise.
been? You ever been on a cruise?
No, they won't let me out of the country due to undisclosed reasons.
So you've
love
not done
it.
that. Roland's here too. Roland, you ever been on a cruise? Lisa's fighting her.
I am
All right, well, go
not
ahead.
happy
Finish
right now. I'm
making
so
it. Go
sorry.
ahead. Couldn't get this done before the show.
Well, I
Roland,
was
tell
doing
us.
things.
No, never. I've always wanted to, but probably never will because my wife has motion sickness.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that would
yeah.
not be fun.
My wife has emotion sickness.
No, right now I have you sickness for making fun of me with the whole microphone thing.
Why would that make you upset?
It just did. I don't know. It just did.
She gets mad so easy.
Just did.
I don't like cruises. I'm now afraid of cruises because you get out, you get in the water, and
There's
bad things
so many
happen.
horror stories out there.
Everyone gets sick.
Yeah.
Forget the
and they
sick,
fall
dead. People
overboard.
get dead.
It happened to Rob. Actually, he got Mike Calta's executive producer Rob. He got sick on the cruise, and they charged him $200. He got food poisoning.
On this one.
On the one they're still coming back from now because he was tweeted it out, and then they charged him $200 to go see the doctor that's on board the ship, and he was so furious. He's like, "Why am I paying to have to see a doctor when you guys were the ones who made me sick?"
Exactly.
They gave him the money back because he went to Twitter, and everybody was just crushing them over it because he's got
yeah.
15,000 Twitter followers.
Twitter's a great thing for that.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps companies honest.
You know, I don't understand. If you're paying for the ship, I would think everything's included, and that includes like.
No.
And the other side
You
of
make a
this
phone
is,
call, it's like $7 a minute.
No, that I get. I think you're making a call, but I mean, if there's a doctor on board, that should kind of come with it. No different than you don't have to pay for the bathroom, right? I think it makes sense. Ben, have you been on a cruise?
I went on a cruise when I was like 7 years old, and I remember being 7 and thinking this was the worst thing in the world. It just, you go and it was so, the room was so absolutely small that we stayed in. It was like, in order to move around the room, you had to fold the beds that come out of the wall?
Yeah.
Right? So it was two twins, and they folded up, and then you could sort of move around the living room. And then the bathroom was actually, the toilet was inside the shower, which was inside the sink. Right?
Oh, that's gross.
So when you're ready to take a shower, you actually took a shower in the toilet, which folded back up into the thing, and the sink was in. It was so small, and I was only 7 years old, and I remember thinking this is the smallest thing in the world. I'm feeling so
Claustrophobic.
Oh my
Claustro-
god!
but no
At
wonder
7 years old.
No wonder people get sick though, because you're not supposed to have your toilet that close to where you brush your teeth and you get clean, because toilets
That's
aren't
true.
clean.
That's a good point.
Yeah, don't
That's a
get
good
my
point.
wife started.
You
with,
guys went on the Disney cruise, right?
I've been on another cruise. I've been on another cruise. First, when I was like 19, my family, we never went on any trips like that. The times that we went, and I know you can break out the violin, but like every time the family went somewhere, I was grounded, and so I literally couldn't go. Like my parents would be
They
like,
grounded you on a cruise?
no, my family would be
Oh,
like, we're going to
without
Hershey
you.
Park. And you're grounded. But I want to go. Jamie, I'll tell you this because you'll feel bad for me.
No, I won't. Go on.
My mom, I hope you're listening. I love you very much. And this is the truth. You can call me 800-771-1025 if I am not telling the truth. Please call me, you or Dad. It's fine. Just don't call my cell number because I won't. They will call my cell number. You're going to hear my phone ring. That's going to be my mom. Donnie, can I talk to you about the cruise thing? So, my mom would ground me. I've been grounded more than once on my birthday.
Oh, that's lovely.
And literally they still had cake. And I was in my room.
And you were not allowed to have the cake.
Literally had cake in the living room. And I was in my bedroom. Nobody feels bad.
Now, were they eating in the living room going, "Oh, this is so delicious. Don, you should try this." Never mind.
What did you do to be grounded on your birthday?
Probably my mom was big on you take the garbage out, and I get it. Our house was kind of tiny, and she would take the garbage out of the pail in the kitchen, and she'd put it near the front door. And the front door, you couldn't get around the garbage. You literally had to step over it to go out of the front door. So the fact that I would step over it to go out of the front door kind of says everything it needed to say. Like, maybe I should have taken the garbage with me, but I didn't because I had my own set of issues. So she would then, you'd get grounded for that. Or she would come in the room and she would check if you dusted, and by lifting things up to see if you dusted under things.
Was she a military drill sergeant?
No, she was militant to some degree. Still is, likes a little bit of cleanliness. And if I did that, then I would get grounded. Or, whatever the thing would be. I don't know. Have you
So
ever
you
been
were
grounded on
grounded
your
on a-
birthday? I mean, it happens.
I've never been grounded in my life.
Wow.
Never.
Have you ever had like your security guard grounded?
No. My security guard was never grounded
No?
either. No. But
I don't think there's much. Now, had Nikki ever been grounded, or was just your dad did let you guys pretty much get away
no,
with
I
whatever
think
you
she
wanted?
did get. I
I
think
doubt
she was
that.
grounded. Maybe a couple. She got into trouble more. I don't know. I was always honest with my parents and told them everything I was doing, and I'd never had a curfew
Right.
and was never grounded.
I
You were
could
a
see
good
Nikki
kid.
getting. I could see Nikki getting grounded, but I could see your dad grounding Nikki, but I could also see him
taking that
taking it
grounding
back.
away. Yes,
like
of
you're
course.
grounded for 2 weekends. Okay, and then after the first Friday, okay, you can go outside.
Yeah, or
Or your friends can all come over.
Right, right.
You can't go out, but
Yeah,
they can all
exactly.
come
Yeah,
over.
you're grounded, but we can have a party.
Right.
No more than 200 people at that party.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's kind of everyone gets their own deal. Like, I used to get grounded quite a bit. That was a big thing. My mom would like ground you, and she'd take. You weren't allowed to have anything in the room. But I do credit her with me starting playing guitar because she grounded me, and my dad had there was an old guitar in the corner of my room that my friends and I would like pretend we were in Kiss or Aerosmith. Put this one strobe light on. in the room.
Aerosmith. There
And
you
so when one time I was grounded, and my parents said you could have nothing, but I was allowed to play the guitar, and I learned how to play.
That's constructive grounding. I like that idea.
Yeah, I
at
mean,
least it's something that I mean, it's better than just sitting in the room. I remember once my mom used to make crazy threats, but actually she followed through on it once. And if we didn't eat our vegetables, she would say that she was going to make us go on the washer and dryer and finish our vegetables at dinner. I mean, but it was such a random thing.
But you wouldn't want to sit there.
So we'd still eat them, right? But so finally, one time I decided that she's not going to fall
Let's
through
test
this. And sure enough, I had to sit on the washer and dryer and eat my broccoli.
I wouldn't test your mom
Until
on
it was
anything,
gone.
Ben.
No, she's no joke.
No,
You know
she's
what?
no joke.
I want to talk about your mom later on.
Whoa!
And she's around.
Get off my mom, Don.
I
Well,
love your mom.
love
Because you
your
were
mom.
all over her last night.
I love your mom. And Nana Patty.
Is that
if
what you're
you-
mad about today?
If you're, you want to get into that? But Nana Patty, if you are around 800-771-1025, I want to talk a little bit more about what you and I were talking about before. Last night when we were alone.
Can I just wish my son a...
I was gonna. Yeah, I had that right on the list for you.
Okay.
Because we were talking about the cruise, and I wanted to say that we went with Asher on a cruise,
The Disney cruise.
like Disney cruise for his birthday.
Oh God, that
Because
was what
how much we love that little boy. I hate cruises, and the minute I got on the ship, I said to the guy, "Do you have the Dramamine?"
What was his name? Sven? You said
Sven,
Sven.
yeah,
Give me
Sven.
the pills.
Give
Is
me
Give
it
me the
pills.
pills.
S-V-E-N?
I didn't ask
Sven?
him for a pronunciation or a spelling.
How old was Ash? That was probably
7?
9 years ago,
He was- I
right?
thought he was like 7 or something.
No, he wasn't that old.
But Benjamin,
Yes. I have a
shout it out for
teenager.
that kid.
I have a teenager now, and my little baby boy is 13 years old today.
Well, your little baby boy's not even 1.
Well, no, that's true. But my first
Your first
little
baby
baby
boy.
boy was 13 years old, and it's just, I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, and it's amazing how quickly it all goes down. I mean, everybody talks about it. Everybody says you blink and it's over, and it just amazes me. I was looking at him last night, going, it just seemed like it happened overnight, and he's 13 years old today, and it just, he's a great kid, and I'm blessed, and we're gonna try to get him on the phone to embarrass him a little bit, but.
He did just text
probably
me
won't
back,
answer.
so I know he's awake.
So last night. By the way, shout out to Bruce, our driver last night. Lisa and I, if we know we're even gonna have one drink, we will get an Uber or a driver or something every time we go out.
When's the last time you got an Uber?
No,
In
I think
LA all the time.
No, we Uber all the time in LA.
that makes sense.
Here, I don't know if I want to LA because I mean Uber because I've seen people pull up, and they when the driver pulls up because they pulled up for like my cousin took one, and it's like a pickup truck. The Uber's a pickup truck.
I got picked up in New Orleans a couple weeks ago in New Orleans at the airport in a pickup truck.
Oh my god.
And there was my brother and I were in it. It was for 2 people, and he had to get in. Not even the door. You know how pickup trucks have the little like. It's not a full door. It's like a
It's
like a half door.
like a half
seat,
door.
yeah.
And the seats don't go forward. They go sideways,
Yes.
facing each other.
It's got to swing out. So yeah.
Yeah.
So shouldn't there be some rules about an Uber vehicle?
No, you can select different. You can share an Uber. You can
Yeah.
like there's carpool
There's an
Uber.
Uber.
then
Not
there's
sharing
Uber
Uber.
There's not an
anyway.
Uber truck though.
No, but you just need to select the
It's
Uber like
classification.
X.
It's Uber X.
XL or
There's not an
something.
Uber 2-door, and you
No,
had
there's
to
Uber
get in a-
X. There's
There's a
Uber.
bicycle Uber.
But I mean, usually Uber X's are like Toyotas, or I usually get Uber X because it's ridiculous to pay for like a town car if I'm just going to sit. It's so much more cheaper. So I get Uber X, and usually they're Toyotas or Camrys. I mean, nice cars. Never before have been picked up
A
in a
pickup truck?
But
Oh,
actually,
that's
the guy
pretty
was the
funny,
best
though.
Uber driver I've ever had. It was like you couldn't have made this dude up.
That
from New
seems
Orleans.
suspect. The reason why I always, and I did do some of the other cars, but the reason why I kind of want the black car of some sort, I feel like
Because
that.
you're high maintenance.
No, because I feel like that person drives for a living. Whereas the other one, I've not met an Uber person yet because a couple of days I had some meetings in LA and I'm like, I'll just grab an Uber. And Jensen knows, because JJ knows, because we went through trouble because my Uber thing wasn't working right. And I'm like, I can't, I got to leave. But the car would pull up and the guy's always like, he wants to be a farmer or he's in school. And it's like, I want the person driving me to like, that's what they're focused on driving me. It's no different. I want my surgeon to be like, not to be moonlighting is something else. I want him to be my surgeon. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah,
So you
sure.
say that you want people who have no aspirations whatsoever.
Right.
That's who you want to be around.
No, but I don't want him. I don't want that. Yes.
so are you,
Yes. No, I want them to get in the car though, and not immediately. I'm only doing this because I'm trying to get through school. Like, don't tell me why it sucks. You know what I mean? Like right away, tell me I'm just trying to get through school and this. I got to do this because then I start asking questions like, "Well, do you like it? It's okay. Are people nice? Not always. Do they tip well? Never. Like, and then you're sitting there going, "Well, this. Why won't this guy just go postal on
Change
here?"
the conversation.
It's
Like, do you have any boils you want to
I
talk
hate
about?
when they talk. I hate when they talk.
Lisa says, "Don't speak to me."
No, I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm in the car.
And I don't know if they do it anymore, but you know when you get out of an Uber and you get your receipt and you have to rate the driver?
No,
Yes, it
they give you a receipt.
No,
they
on your
email.
phone.
They
Oh.
email
Yeah.
it to you, or the next time you go to the
Sorry.
app.
I should know this.
It
No.
comes up right away on your app.
Oh, I
The
delete
next time
that.
you
I
go
don't
to-
think you've taken
No,
actual
you
Uber.
don't
You're taking
delete
something
it.
else entirely.
I'm going to show him right now because I'm
But don't
sure
show
it's
me.
on your Uber right
so
now.
anyways, back to what I was saying. The
Gotta show.
if they also I think they don't do this anymore, but when they started, they rated
You.
yes. So
Yes, they
you
do
rated the
rate.
driver, and then they rated you. And my mom had a bad Uber experience in New York once, and I guess she kind of said something to the driver, yelled at the driver, and that whole trip, she'd go to select an Uber, and it would say it's coming, and then 20 seconds later, it would say the driver canceled it
Oh no!
because she got a bad rating, but they don't know that until they click accept. So the driver would accept the drive and then go, "Oh, this woman, I don't want this
Well-
woman in the car," and then cancel the ride.
Well, how funny you're saying that because I just read this whole article on the Uber driver in wherever he was that was killing people. Michigan.
Thank you,
Roland. Roland, get
Roland from right field,
it.
throwing down the facts, just nailed him at the plate from
So,
right field. Threw a
it's
dime.
a great article. It was in Rolling Stone. And the whole thing is this guy, and he tells all about it, that on an Uber, when you're getting your Uber thing, it lights up red or black if you have a driver. I mean, if you have a pickup or if you don't. And sometimes he said it would turn red and that meant he had to kill somebody. And he went on this spree this night. And he kept picking up people. Like, if these Uber drivers are able to tell you that, hey, don't pick up that person because they're not really nice, why can't somehow it get word that the driver, hey, this guy's
He's a
been
psycho.
killing people.
Well,
Maybe
because
we don't need him.
the people he killed didn't have a chance to rate his.
It's
It's like, hang out before you stab me to death. I need to fill this out real quick on my phone.
No, he didn't kill everybody. Only some, and because if the app didn't
Depending
tell
on how
him
much
to
they
kill,
tipped.
no, if the app didn't tell him to kill, it didn't kill. I don't know why we got into the Uber, but
I always carry my mace with me when I'm in an Uber, though, just in case. You never know.
all right, we sound like we're a little.
Do you feel
we have
the same
issues.
about Uber Eats that you do about
No.
the Uber driver? Like that
I
you
love
I have a
real
new
Uber
thing
Eats.
about Uber
real
Eats.
delivery
I'm a little
person?
nervous. I'm a little
spit-
nervous that
If-
why
if-
aren't they spitting in our
If
food?
you're
doing
new,
whatever they want?
if you haven't heard about it, Tampa's just gotten. San Francisco's had it for a while. Major cities have had it for a while, but they now have Uber Eats. It's a separate app, and you can actually go into restaurants here locally in Florida, in Tampa, and order food, and the Uber driver will go get it, pick it up, and then drive it to your house. So it's a convenient doorstep delivery.
It's definitely weird because poison your food. Like,
Anything.
Spit in your food.
Okay, but what's the difference between that and ordering Domino's or
because
ordering
those people
to-go
actually
people?
work for the company and
You're right. There's a part that if I'm going to be crazy, why wouldn't I be crazy by putting something in your food, getting your house, delivering it to you, and being like, "Are you alone?" Yeah, well, you're about to be hot Cosby'd.
Hot
Cosby.
I get the Cosby part. What about the
if
hot?
anybody's an Uber Eats,
Hot
I don't
food?
know. I don't want to get into it.
I know what you're talking about. We're not discussing
All
it.
right.
Can we talk about it during the break? Because I really like to know about this.
we should have callers that are Uber drivers or Uber Eats drivers call in. Let us know their
We
experience.
want to know what you're thinking, but you know what? We are going to have to go to break, and I want to talk about
I'm gonna give you the phone
Asher,
number, but-
Ben's son, and his 7
I was going to do
12-year-old boys. We also were at a funeral yesterday, and I want to talk a little bit about that. But I know that sounds like great conversation.
It
Lastly,
is.
I do want to give a shout out to Melissa Carbone. She's fighting like a warrior against cancer, and just finished week 1 of her treatment, and has 20 days left to go. And Melissa, we're with you, and we love you. Stay strong. You're listening to Miggs and Swig Show. We're gonna be back with more Miggs and Swig. You are listening to Miggs and Swig. So before the break, we were talking a little bit about Bill Cosby. No, that wasn't what we were talking about. Benjamin.
Yes, sir.
We were talking a little bit about your son, and that Asher has is turned 13 years old today. Tonight we're going to celebrate at Sacred Pepper. And last night we went to Armani's, and thanks to Armani's because that was nice. I had a nice night.
It was good.
Yeah, it is good. It just is
Well,
so long. It's such a long
you're right.
ordeal. I mean, it's almost like Burns on steroids, and if for any restaurant to be longer than Burns is quite. I mean, it was like 4 hours.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't have to be that
doesn't
long.
have to be. I mean,
it
we
could.
Well, people
They
want
could move it
people want to
faster.
experience the whole thing.
If you're on a date, and you see a lot of couples out there, because I would say it's more of a date place than I can understand. I mean, I wouldn't want to spend 4 hours with my wife at a restaurant, but nonetheless,
Oh,
some
I
people
do.
with his wife?
No, with
Oh, me.
you,
Okay.
with my husband.
So yeah, it's long. The food is phenomenal. I just thought it was about an hour and a half too long.
You know, they take the thing about going to a place like Armani's, though, the thing that I enjoy about that, and you know what I've got to say, we get it at Haven, we get it at Burns, we get it at Ava, we get it at, where else do we get it? Sacred Pepper, where I want to be treated like they're glad that I'm there. And these people, like when I go into Armani's, and that was Maria last night, she treated us like she was glad we were there. It wasn't like JJ going to Chipotle or
Chipotle.
Chipotle does
Chipotle.
treat me very well. They give me a free drink
They do.
because I come there
Oh
so
my
often.
god.
Do they really?
Well, I moved to the one on Gandy, but when used to go to the West Shore one, they used to give me a free drink because I was there so much.
So what happened to Taco Bell with you the other day?
Oh,
Taco
boy.
Bell's not good.
Not a friend of yours?
Not
I haven't
a
had
friend of mine.
Taco Hell.
Nobody
in
should be
years.
eating there.
Does
I've been-
anyone want to think about when you get food and by the way, this isn't about having money, not having money. It costs the same amount of money to go and get yourself, go to Whole Foods even, or go to anywhere and just get a couple
Actually,
pieces
does
of
Actually,
meat.
no, it's not.
It actually
No.
does not.
When's the last
I
time you
tried
gone to
that the
Whole
week
Foods
before.
and done some shopping?
Yeah.
Last Sunday.
Seriously.
Seriously, last
Seriously,
Sunday.
you went
I love
grocery
going
shopping.
to Whole Foods.
I
we
love
just
going to
never
Whole
go
Okay.
there.
So
You
there's
never
a
go to
big
Whole Foods. You go to Fresh Market.
That's what I meant, Fresh
okay,
Market.
right. So
But I
that-
love Whole Foods.
There's a big difference between the prices of
Yeah, it's
Whole-
really quite.
How about Fresh Market?
probably the same.
No.
No, they're
No.
saying not as far as prices going to Taco Bell or
All I
Chipotle.
know-
I'm saying the same as whole paycheck. I mean Whole Foods.
All I know is that if you go to Fresh Market and you want just one roll, a Kaiser roll for 99 cents, and you get 4 pieces of meat, of like turkey or something, you can get that, put that on a sandwich, and that's going to be just as good. And there's a good chance you're not going to get food poisoning like you did, JJ.
And it won't fill me up.
Well, you shouldn't get food poisoning at Taco Bell.
Well, you
I'm
shouldn't.
just saying, you just
I've
shouldn't.
been eating very well, like a little bit like healthier-ish food, and I splurged
You
on,
did.
on Taco Bell.
And how'd that
It
go
did
for
not
you?
work well with my stomach at all.
I don't know. I like going to good places. Not necessarily.
Well, I
they don't
do
have to be
too.
expensive places. No, it's not about expense. Like everyone, like what did Mo say last week? It's like, well, I want to go to Sacred Pepper too, but it's expensive. It's not an expensive place.
Well,
but
yeah,
I want to go where I
it-
feel like they care. Go ahead, Ben.
It's not expensive to you. It's not expensive to what you get when you walk into Sacred Pepper. I mean, it's a beautiful restaurant. If that were in New York, that would be an expensive restaurant.
Right.
I mean, super expensive.
Right.
It's not Armani's. However, for somebody, not making a lot of money, Sacred Pepper is on the very expensive side.
That is not why JJ went to Taco Bell, and if she says
that's
it is,
what-
that's not why it is.
No, but that's what you were saying, that Sacred Pepper isn't very expensive.
Right. I mean, you're right. Relatively speaking, like a place like Ava, you can go and for $12 you can get a full pie. You know what I mean? You can get enough food. It isn't like you're not going to have enough food. Right?
I think the difference between it's reasonable, right?
It's
It's
reasonable.
reasonable price, but at the same time, you can also go to Domino's and get a bigger pie for $7.99.
Right.
So
Right,
relative.
right,
so
right.
so
That's true.
it might not be expensive to you, and it might be different than different restaurants, but it is to some people a very expensive or task.
All right.
Ordeal.
Well, I just insulted people. I
No.
didn't mean to.
I don't think. I think it was clarification. I think you were saying the same thing. I just had to make sure that
I
you
said it
didn't sound
right.
like an idiot.
More important, go on, Bench.
More importantly,
speaking of me sounding like an idiot,
about
Never.
13 years ago, 9 months, I had relations with my ex-wife, and we produced a beautiful, beautiful child who, as we said earlier in the first segment, is 13 years old.
handsome.
Handsome, stud. We have him on the phone, the one and only Asher.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hey, for your birthday, Don Miggs is going to sing you a song on the air.
Oh.
And this song was written just for you.
Oh, yeah, this one was
Quick,
written
come up
just
with
for you.
something, Don.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, Asher, it's your birthday, and we're so happy that you're here. You have all your friends with you, and I don't know if
They
any
are
of
so
them
dear.
are. No, I don't have
not
a song
any
for
beer.
it.
Well, that was an epic failure.
I
Don
just-
obviously can't freestyle rap. I mean,
Oh,
song.
you didn't want me to rap. I can rap.
Now, his name is Asher, and as you shall see, he's the baddest white rapper in the history.
Oh, let's just let
Anyways,
Asher talk.
Happy birthday. What does it feel like to be 13?
A teenager.
Were there any more hairs where you didn't know you even had areas today?
God.
No.
No?
Ew.
He's fully haired.
Do you feel any different today?
No, not at all.
You don't? So
No.
what should happen when you were 7 and you thought I'm going to be 13 one day? What do you think you thought 13 meant then, and what does it mean now? It's like what? Can we just talk about football?
I kind of thought it meant like when I was little, like middle school and stuff.
Right.
Did you ever think do you ever remember thinking at any point when you were younger that 13 seems so old?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're here and
Not really.
really? Okay. Yeah, no.
Kinda.
Hey,
Yeah, kind of.
I remember, like, it kind of felt old. And then I remember thinking when I was little that, like, as you get older, things, like, aren't fun.
That you thought were going to be fun at that particular age.
Yeah.
Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Like, I remember I was, like, 8 years old, and then we were going to move into the same house, and I didn't want to move in when I was 9 because it wasn't going to be as fun.
Simple life.
Hey, I want to know, like, you and your friends, when you're all together, like, and there were 7. He had 7 of his friends with him last night, and 7, teenage boys can get pretty rowdy. Like, what is it about, like, when you guys are all getting together, like, when you all want to have the sleepover, what is it that goes on with, like, what do you guys talk about? What's the number one thing that you guys get into when you're all together and it's late and
That's a great
parents
question.
parents aren't listening?
Well, first of all, fantasy football.
Well,
First and foremost. What else?
do you talk about girls?
Yes,
That was my
my
question.
question.
Not sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes.
So Ash, when you guys, and it was funny because we had 2 tables last night, and the kids were at their own table, and then They would have their appetizer and then split, and then come back and eat their main course and split. Where were you guys going?
On the balcony.
On the balcony.
That was making me nervous. I thought somebody was accidentally going to be going over the balcony.
We were just messing around on the balcony.
What's your plans for today? What are you gonna do?
Well, kind of in the morning, I think I'm just gonna relax a little bit more.
What's your mom making you for breakfast?
She made me an Oreo pancake with bacon.
Oh, yum.
Wow.
And
Well-
so in the morning, I kind of want to relax. Maybe around lunchtime, I might do something with my friends.
Right.
Ash,
And then,
give us on your 13th birthday your number one fantasy play tomorrow.
oh, geez,
Dead air. Make up a name.
You know we're not allowed to have dead
wait,
air.
I have to think.
Give him a minute, Dad.
I mean,
You
This is one of
You start
those-
forgetting things when you're my age and 43, not when you're 13.
right. See, then it's going to stink because I had another question that was going to require you to think. And so can you answer that one so I can ask mine?
Well, yeah. Probably, he's playing on Monday night, but I like Sterling Shepard.
New York Giants, rookie wide receiver. Good job. Okay, Don.
All right,
And I like Devontae Freeman.
Running back,
he-
Atlanta.
Ash, what's
He
your...
hasn't been doing well the first couple of games, but then last week he had a really big game, and I think he's going to continue.
All right, best gift for a 13-year-old for you.
Right now?
What
that I've
was it?
gotten so far?
Yeah.
Either the Steph Curry jersey.
Who got you
And
that?
who gave you that?
Wow, somebody must have thought about you
Someone
months
must
ago.
really love you.
My mom's Tempur-Pedic. Sleep Number bed.
I knew you were excited about
money.
that. That's
You
so
don't go
cute.
to Taco Bell, do you?
Dad, I have not gotten your present yet.
And
I
he's-
wouldn't expect it anytime soon. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm getting you.
And my grandpa got me a drone.
Oh.
Well, sounds like a tough one.
Well, Ash, I love you, and I have to say that I'm sitting around a room of parents, except for JJ. But I have to be the luckiest dad in the world, and you have brought nothing but joy to my life, and I can't believe that you're 13 years old, and I love you so very much.
Thank you. I love you.
that was beautiful. All right.
love you, Ash.
All right, Asher held fun. You want to send him something, please. He's accepting gifts.
I can't. I wish I could say what I got him on the air.
Wait a minute.
Wait, did you actually get him something, or
Oh,
you just
yeah.
forgot?
No, I got him.
Because you had a whole year to figure this out.
No, I got him.
Can you
Of
tell
course I
us
got him.
anyway? Can you sort of like...
Hint around.
He's not listening.
Yeah, I think they are listening.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
Nikki's
find
got
out.
him.
I'll find out during commercial, and then I will.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Breaking news at whatever is JoJo safely on the ground. I don't know what that means. JoJo, you're safely on the ground?
Well, I'm not on water.
Oh, listen to that voice. That voice sounds like a week of hell. JoJo, drink much?
I had so much fun.
Best part of the cruise.
You all should be very jealous that you were not on Celtic Cruise 10.
Oh.
Best-
Maybe we'll go next year.
Best part.
No, we won't.
The best. I feel like there were different things in all of it, but I really enjoyed getting to meet and watch Bert Kreischer and Ralphie May perform live. They are two of the funniest human beings on the face of the planet.
And I'm pregnant.
So nice.
Yeah. Did
She wouldn't know that.
did you and a certain a radio executive here at Cox Media have some relations?
Any hot Cosbian?
Wait, what?
Crickets.
Did you have any relations with anybody on the cruise?
Well, why did you say an executive?
I was just.
I don't know
'cause
why
it-
either. I
'cause
swear
it-
to God, I don't
or
know.
a personality.
Personality.
Anyone.
Anybody.
The answer is yes, because
Yeah.
the way she just said
Yes,
it.
it is.
No, I didn't.
No?
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, no one's believing you.
Did you have relations with anybody on the cruise?
No, just myself.
Oh.
All right, she's
Really? I'm
So you're saying the
totally
cruise was a
lying.
failure?
The cruise
No,
was a
it's-
failure.
We need to see you in person to ask these questions.
What we do need to do is we need to have Mo come in and interrogate her
Oh,
because
that's
he can do it.
He gets it
He
from
got her to speak to sing
believe
like
you
a
can't do that.
canary the other
Really?
day about her
One
relationship.
time, and it will never happen again. we had a really great time. I'll fill you all in tonight at Sacred Pepper. I can't wait to see you guys.
Oh, yay. Can't wait to see you.
They'll let anybody in the Sacred Pepper. Okay, well, JoJo.
Take a nap.
Yeah, please.
Your voice sounds like it's
Take
been
a
rough.
bath. All right, Joe.
We miss you, Joe. Love you.
Love you guys. See you later.
Bye.
Man, that JoJo.
I can't
Oh,
imagine
I can't
what
wait
that
to get the
cruise was
scoop.
like. I just can't even imagine what hell it was like.
I don't have any desire for that. Now, I can tell you, several years ago, they do this thing called the Rock Boat, and I'm a musician, and I was asked several years ago to do the Rock Boat, and I'm like, it's not really something I want to do. I'm gonna, I can't really do it. Turn it down. They never asked me again, by the way, and it is a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal. I mean, because a lot of these famous rock stars will go and have their own cruise and with fans, and I can't imagine what a moneymaker it is for them. I mean, because they rent the boat, they keep all the revenue, and the people go on the cruise, and it's
a great moneymaker. It also is great, like the Rock Boat. You get people who are fans of music, a specific sort of style, and so if they like one band on the Rock Boat, they'll like all of them. And I have a lot of fans that love everyone from the
I think
Rock
John
Boat.
Bon Jovi did a cruise.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Everyone has done a cruise.
Right.
The Kiss Carnival cruise. I mean, it makes bank. It makes so much money. And I'm going to imagine that. Who puts this cruise on, Jamie? Do you know? Is it Calta, but is it the radio station?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Because somebody's making bank on that. I can tell you that.
Well, the Migs and Swig lifeboat cruise.
Lifeboat. Yeah,
JJ!
There you go.
That was a good one, JJ.
That might have been the funniest thing I've ever said.
Will you
was a
bring
good
the
one.
Taco Bell?
A dinghy.
I'll bring the Taco Bell.
No.
Will you serve the Taco Bell?
We're just going to go just around, the DeBartolo lake.
We'll go around the bay
And
here.
it's going to be one of those orange ones. It has to be one of those orange inflatable ones.
Get your tickets now.
Get your ticket.
Watch it.
Get your ticket now, because
we have
Can't
room
get
for
enough.
three.
There aren't multiple tickets available.
you're not going to want to bring
the
a bunch
Titanic.
of people. Okay, well, you know what? I know that, Ben, we were talking about the togetherness thing, and if you don't know, Lisa and I kind of jot down.
You jot it down.
I jot down all the times we've had relations in a year because I think it's important because the average couple in America has relations, what is it, 60 times a year. And I just think that it should be more than that. And it doesn't have to be.
We both do.
All right, we both do. Thank you.
What number are you at?
It's not like you forced me to have
86.
sex with you.
86.
86. Which,
With 3 months to go?
yeah. And we had 1 month where we couldn't, so it's good. Numbers are strong. We're trying to see how we can polish off the month in a way. We're going to New York.
Game of Thrones is helping.
Well, New York's going to help.
New York will help.
Go to New York. So I want to talk about the Innocence Project. We're going to New York for that. I want to talk. So talking about the togetherness thing, Ben had some sort of what'd you have for us?
I had a little game that I wanted to play with you and Lisa.
Ooh.
So.
And if John will hang on the line, we're going to talk. He has to give a comment about Taco Bell. We're going to do that after the break if John can hang with us. So more after these words, Migs and Swig. Always gets me. I got to tell you, I want to first give a real great shout out to, a real thank you to Mo. For the last couple of weeks, Mo has been joining our show. The Mo Migs and Swig show is sort of what it's been the last couple of weeks, and he's
So
great.
I heard it was Mo Miggs and less Swig. Is the way we're moving towards.
You know, honestly, we should just have Mo just do our show,
Right.
And
just have him do 5 hours,
Yeah,
and we'll
'cause
we'll just be around.
we're good as we're kind of
side
pieces.
pieces.
That's what we're good at. We're a couple of side pieces. I got to tell you, I for the first time listened to the BDRS show.
Wow.
Last night.
You got it right.
I got it right. Because the driver, I was saying, this guy Bruce, he was listening, and I said, "Oh, that's the station we're on." He goes, "I know, I listened to you," which was really nice. But I like listening to him. I think that Mo is great. I think the show is good. I don't know who the guy is. That's
You have a
with
little
him.
man crush on Mo. He's a great dude.
Mo's great.
Mo's great.
Mo's great.
But you have a man.
Really good kisser.
Is he?
A little too much tongue.
Do you
Little
like
too much
the
tongue.
dreadlocks get in the way at all?
No, not for me. No, I grab them. I gotta put them hold in one hand, and and he's gentle. You
So,
wouldn't think it.
so really quick, we've been trying to. We're having some technical difficulties, but Drew Garabo live. Drew is out at Thirsty First, 119 First Avenue in St. Pete for his, I guess, monthly brunch thing. We've been trying to get him on the line. We're going to continue, but if you're free today, go down and see Drew Garabo at Thirsty First.
Yeah,
in St. Pete.
And then
downtown.
if you're free after that, watch some more Games of Thrones. If you're with the
What number are you guys on?
with the and the
Episode.
Oh, episode. They're back to relations.
not very
Number 3.
3.
Because it seems like we
It's-
put that on, and all of a sudden,
I have to
Wait,
tell
you're
you.
only on season 3?
No,
No.
season
number 3.
Number
episode season 1 episode 3, and I was talking to him about it last night, and I might pay a significant amount of money to be able to go back and watch it like that from season 1. I think they're on season 5 right now. But
No, they just wrapped up season 6.
season 6.
Yeah.
So, and I've been watching it since the beginning, but how great it would be able to binge watch on the thing and from episode 1 because I
You liked
wait.
it that much?
Oh, it's so good.
It's
Wow.
hands down the best
Oh,
show on TV.
by
I don't
Game of
quite
Thrones.
understand everything that goes on.
Well,
so
It
far.
you know
takes
what?
a while.
It-
See, the
it's-
the problem is it's so in depth and there's so many characters,
So many stories.
that when I first watched it, I didn't know any of the backstory. I didn't read any of the books, any of that.
Oh,
So
there's books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, somebody just told us that last night.
And the thing is, it's
did,
very
maybe.
hard because, like Jamie said, there's so many different stories, and everybody's trying to fight for the Golden Throne,
crown.
the
Iron Throne.
the Iron Throne. And there's just the 7 kingdoms, and there's so many different stories. And then they'll leave a story for a couple episodes,
Or
and then
seasons in
or
some cases.
seasons,
And then come back to
Sounds
it.
like this radio show.
Yeah, exactly. It's all over the place, but,
But yeah,
it is phenomenal.
it's so worth watching the whole thing, and then you get engrossed in it, and then they'll reference something that was like 3 seasons or 3 years ago, and like, oh my god, and you can't believe it, and it's totally
it's
mind
back.
blowing.
You know what the other thing?
So
Can I
great.
just say something to,
Yes, you can.
to any TV producer? Because this is a pet peeve
Because
of mine, and I've been
a lot
wanting
of them
to.
do listen.
Okay, good. So when you have a season break, right? And it's usually 5-6 months or whatever it is. For them to come back and do a new season, the episode 1, and they don't give you a synopsis, and they just start the season, it drives me crazy because it's been so long.
Do they always do that?
Some do, some of them don't, and the ones that don't. It drives me crazy because then I got to go to Wikipedia and I got to catch myself up because it's been so
I've never
long.
done that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I just feel like with Game of Thrones, and I know it's brought up a lot that I've been saying
on,
that
baby,
it's
bring
good
it
for
on.
our relations,
Relations.
but for some reason I just find the show very
Sexy.
very sexy.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
very
It is.
sexy.
It is.
The women,
And
the
it
men,
gets
like
sexier.
everything is just very sexy about it.
Rowan, you like hearing when my wife says the show's sexy? You like to hear that a lady's okay with the show being sexy?
Answer
that's
quickly.
fine.
Or answer, tread softly.
It's true though.
Tread softly.
It's
Well,
true.
I
An
think-
awkward,
I think
awkward
part of it-
question, right?
Part of that is because the women, they take their sexuality and they use that.
Yes,
Yes,
I love the way
they
you
do.
use
It's-
sex for
they're
good.
not these dainty little, you just have to take me. They're like, look, I'm a woman. Here I am.
Here I am.
Boom.
Do what you want.
Has Daenerys been introduced yet?
I don't know. Her dairy ass has been what?
no,
See, when she she's the Queen of Dragons, but she marries
The frail little blonde chick.
the
Looks
hot-
about 13 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's
isn't that Khaleesi?
Khaleesi,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
yeah, she's
Oh,
been
yeah.
Khaleesi'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Khaleesi.
you guys are so far
I
behind.
know.
I
have to go back
know, I
because she was
know.
married. What was the guy's name? The
Yeah.
Khal Drogo.
Drago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
stud.
pretty badass.
Yeah.
That
And the other
guy's-
thing you'll learn in that
Oh
show.
yeah, he's badass.
The other thing about that show, nobody is safe.
No, I'm sure of that.
Nobody, like, and no character, no lead character, nobody is safe.
Yeah, the running theme is don't get attached to anybody.
Right.
I like
Because they're
Really?
gonna die.
Except the dwarf. He makes it for a
Don't
long
get
time.
attached.
He's
I know, but
great,
he's made it
though.
for a long
He's
time.
great. You know,
he's at least 5
he's
seasons.
American.
Is
Yeah,
he
he is
really?
American, of
He does
course.
a great British
he's-
accent.
He's a great
Oh, I read
actor.
a great interview with him and
Peter
he,
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. Not a great name. He got. Never mind.
Got the
okay,
short
so
end
hey,
of the stick
got
on
the
that, you're
short-
gonna say?
I was going to say that.
Yeah, but he's laughing all the way to his short
exactly.
little bank.
Yes,
hey,
he
I don't
is.
care. I mean, you know what? The man's got what he's, and he has a thing to him for sure.
He does. But I just love the scenery and everything. As soon as we started watching it, I was Googling where they filmed it.
How expensive
It's
is that thing to
beautiful.
make?
The
That's
first
gotta-
couple seasons were about $1 million each, which is really expensive. Now it's a couple million because they're making so much money they can put more and more
Oh
into it.
my
and
God.
It's
Come on, the
unreal.
castle. Just the castles in the winter.
And all the snow, the winter scenes. Oh,
Winterfell.
Winterfell.
I feel like I'm talking to somebody in 2009.
I know.
I know.
Sorry.
2010.
So
Where
far
have they
behind.
been?
We
Guys,
were
little
busy
kids.
having kids
guys,
back then.
3 years ago, we finished watching
ER.
ER.
And didn't you just watch Friends?
Friends.
Yeah,
you
we
guys
just watched Friends.
And last month they just finished MASH.
Can I tell you one thing that is funny? You saying
That
that?
was good, Jay.
Several years ago, someone said to me, they mentioned Tony Danza in something, and I'm like, well, is he on something? Or he was on, because I only knew him from being on Taxi.
Hanging
He
out
was
with
on,
them in
like-
the steam room in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and hanging out in a steam room. But wasn't he on, like, I don't want to drop a name, that hung out with Tony Danza in a steam room in Las Vegas. And then he lived 6 doors
right.
away from us in Malibu, and I ran into a couple times. And
we
I
used
would
to see him on his exercise bike out on his balcony.
How
remember?
about, and how about when we went for Japanese food and I go by and I go, you stop following me.
Yeah,
I said,
that was
you're
funny.
everywhere I am, you are. And then we ran into each other in freaking Las Vegas in a steam room.
Wow.
We made
Great.
sweet
Was he
Game of
naked or
Thrones.
was he wearing a towel around his?
No, he had a towel around.
Do you go
with-
naked in the steamer?
Yeah, I always do. But with a towel. Yeah, I don't just walk around.
You
Well, that
don't?
ain't naked. You're wearing a towel.
No, I'm naked, but I have a towel just to keep things kind of on the
Oh,
up
I wish
and
I
up.
wouldn't get axed, but I could say something.
Axed?
Well, yeah, Jamie
Oh, red
will.
button.
Yeah.
Why?
Dumped.
Do you would you steam room? You have a towel? You're not wearing shorts or underwear, right?
I go naked.
No, of course.
I put the towel down.
making myself
I
laugh
put a
right
towel
now.
around when I get in. I drop the towel and I sit on the towel.
Why do you drop
Of course,
the
Ben
towel?
walks in. He's like, I'm here. Throws the towel down, struts around a bit.
Wait a second.
Because when you have the endowment of myself, you want people to
To see
take
it?
to
note.
see it. Yeah.
I'm kind of a-
I've seen the back of you, never the front.
Yeah, it's true, you have. Anyways, on another note, John's on the air. What do you think about Taco Bell, John?
Hey, good morning, guys. I love the
Morning.
show. Hi,
Thanks, Ron.
I'm calling a little bit late when you were talking about the food and the Taco Bell. I couldn't get to my phone.
I want to talk about it, so bring it up. Go.
But, I wanted to bring it up. Yeah, I actually used this in a comedy routine years ago when I used to do it, but it was over in Dunedin, Florida, right near where you guys are. I'm sitting here in the Taco Bell, and they're unloading their food truck. Their truck's next to me, and they're bringing all the food in. And I saw all the boxes stacked up, like by the door, and I just happened to turn over and look at it, and I didn't have my phone with me to take a picture of it, but on the boxes it said, grade C beef, but still edible in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they
Wait,
were
wait,
actually.
wait, wait, wait.
What?
No,
Wait a
Taco-
minute.
No, he's
John,
right.
that's
And-
exactly what it said?
Yeah, exactly. Great, and I memorized it 'cause actually, like I said, used it in a.
When we
How
hear
long-
your bit, I want to hear his bit. Let me hear the bit. Is it a quick?
No, I haven't done it in 20. I haven't.
So how long ago, John?
Eight years.
John, how long ago was this?
This is gosh, 08, 09.
All right, well, it's
2010.
Yeah, it's funny. Thank you for your call, John, and filling us in. But for a while, Taco Bell, or they got busted for that grade D, whatever he was saying, where the FDA said that they could not call it meat. Because so they had to change that recipe because technically it wasn't meat.
But what does it even mean when it says edible in some circumstances?
If you cook
what does that mean?
Char this.
I don't know.
If
Put a
you
lot of
char
salt
it,
and pepper on it,
exactly.
and
But
eat
they-
it with something
Oh.
else.
They had
Nice.
major problems because they were told that they could not, on their menus, call it meat.
Yeah, legally, because they would use such low grade, like they'd use like the lips of the
Grade
cow and
D.
the ears
Yeah.
and things like that. They're using the whole animal. Don't freak out. So they would use, that, which is why it was so cheap for them, because they were getting like the bare end of the cow,
Yeah.
which is why they can make it so cheap. But it's also really disgusting if you think about it. So I try not to when I eat it every single day.
But I think they've changed
Do you
it.
eat
Do you eat it every day?
I go to Taco Bell at least once a week. I'm addicted.
Really?
I really do.
What do you eat?
Yeah. I get the cheap, like $2 menu things. Yeah, it's so bad, which is why I'm such great shape.
I'm not going back there ever
Have they
again
changed
after
it?
my
Really?
No, I'm not going.
They've probably added like more actual beef to it, but they still use the really low grade stuff.
Yeah. Well, they've now
Which is-
officially been able to legally call it meat. So whatever
Yeah.
they changed, maybe they used the ass area of the cow instead of the lips, but you can call it meat.
See, so you're just addicted to it because I want to get back to that whole thing about the cost thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I get, because I don't want to sound like some ass, because
Too late.
because I have no problem with the price of something. I just wonder if that's the reason why people go. You go because you're addicted to it.
Well,
You
I
can-
start out because when you're in college and hey, you got $3, you
That's
need
it.
a meal, you're
That's
done.
I
what you
get
eat.
that. I'm not
So-
talking about. I'm talking about now. You've got a regular job, all of that stuff, and all right. Well,
You're assuming I have
listen.
money just because I work.
Well, I don't even mean money, but even PDQ is better than that, and also PDQ is pretty
But
good
yes,
for you.
see, I'd have to say I have to say I'm addicted to Taco Bell because I haven't had McDonald's and I couldn't tell you how long. I haven't had Burger King and wherever. But I drive by a Taco Bell. I'm like, I gotta stop. I need what they have.
Well, you
right
remember
now.
the what was it? Super Size Me, the documentary
Yep.
on McDonald's, and the guy felt like he. And I don't know how much he was playing up on it, but that he became addicted to the food.
I agree.
I mean,
I think it
because
all.
they
is
put
addictive.
additives in it to make you addicted to things. I mean, they've done studies like stuff they put on the fries, the seasoning and all that to make it taste better, and you get it's a chemical in there
Yeah.
that it's edible.
Right.
But it
McDonald's
makes you
fries are
crave
pretty
it.
good. I mean, that's about.
That's-
I haven't.
yeah.
I haven't eaten McDonald's since that documentary came out, but the fries I remember are. pretty
Yeah, I
good.
remember them too.
Pretty good.
JJ, where were we the one time that I had fast food? We're on tour. So JJ was my tour manager when we'd be on tour. And touring, you know, it's every single exit there's a McDonald's, there's some
Oh, yeah.
fast food,
Yeah.
right? And you get to a point where also everyone just gets hungry and you want something. And I still am like, I'm going to have the Subway, and I make them it's just the turkey
We had a lot
with
of Subway
pickle.
sandwiches.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean that's because on the road when I took Cletus this summer for 6 weeks, you want to
Cletus
pull
was
off.
his RV, if anyone...
Yeah, it's my RV,
needs to know.
Cletus the RV. You can follow him on Instagram. But when you pull off, you got to make time, right? Like you're going to city to city,
Right.
and you have to pull off for gas. And we wanted to make the stops as short as possible. Now, some of these truck stops that we'd have to stop for Cletus would have fast food in them. So we did not eat very healthy while we were traveling. Then when we got to the campground, Nadia would cook the food, but you really limited in your
When
choices
you have
of food.
kids too, I mean, you
Right.
can't be taking an hour, you know,
Right.
to go sit and have
Especially when you're
lunch.
driving 10 hours a day
Right.
or 8 hours a day, right? So
Well, you know, also but what we did is once you get going, like you said, we would cook then on the bus, and we always made sure we brought a lot of food, and we would do the shopping at the end of the day. But early on, you know, you're getting in, like you said, you just got to get to the next place. Where were we, JJ, when what did I eat? Because I've never had did I ever have a Carl's Jr.? I don't think I
No.
ever did.
It
At
was-
that point, I never had a Taco Bell, right?
Yeah. I feel like it was like Minneapolis, Minnesota.
But what did I have?
From Taco Bell?
Where did I eat where you said don't do it?
Chicken nuggets?
Oh,
From McDonald's?
Oh, because I
How
said,
many-
what's the best thing you can have? And someone was like, chicken nuggets. And was it that? And she's like, don't do it. You're going to get sick. I'm like, I'm not going to get sick. I ate it, and I thought I was going to.
JJ, how many tours did you go on with Migs? How many ballpark?
I feel like at the beginning years, like the tours never really, it was just constant. Like
Never
Would you say
ending.
over
Yeah.
100?
It shows, for
Shows,
sure.
yeah.
Oh,
shows,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
And
I did
here-
it for
Okay,
9
several
years.
So
years,
and
several
here
hundred.
Donna is asking JJ what she ate.
No, what I ate.
What he ate. I mean, that is just unbelievable. That either JJ's the most has the best memory in the history
but
of the
it's-
world. But what
I
did Don
remember that-
have on
No, but-
September
No, I
24th,
remember that
Because I never ate.
2012?
Because I never ate fast food.
Yeah,
There was
and
one
he was
time
wearing
we were
that
so.
really cool blue shirt. that
Really
had the-
Thank you.
Oh.
No, she's kidding. But we were so hungry we had to eat something. All right, enough about me and my food, because Ben, last week I got to just ask you something. You see, your back's still bothering you, right? You're over here, you're
I know.
bitching
Here
and
we go.
moaning.
Here we go.
And there's been a ton of that. And today I woke up and literally down the side of my leg was hurting. And I'm thinking that's probably not a good sign for my back problem.
No, leg pain is never a good thing.
But having said that, anyone want to ask Ben what he did last week? Now, wait, I'm gonna just say, Jamie, you know that Ben's always in bad back pain, right?
Yeah, he had surgery a little while ago.
Right,
yeah.
right. So he's always limping around here, right?
And he never lets the rest of us let it down. We
Right.
know.
So-
He's always bitching.
What do you think he did? What do you think he did last week?
I actually know because I saw the pictures.
Now, did that seem strange to you at all?
It seemed ridiculous, but also fun.
Fun, but
yeah, I gotta
ridiculous.
say, it's like I was gonna say you don't throw a wheelchair person. Let me put it this way.
Go on.
If
Go on.
I'm trying to back it up.
Yeah, good.
You don't if you go on a cruise and you're in a wheelchair, you don't throw that person in the water and say go swimming. That's kind of what Ben was doing.
Right. So last week Ben went skydiving.
I did.
And if you know Ben, you know that honestly I don't like Ben walking out of here on his own, because there's a good chance he's going to run into something will break. And this guy goes skydiving.
Please tell us about this.
All right, so I was in Vegas last week for Life is Beautiful, which is a phenomenal festival. Whoever puts it on, AEG, I think, but it's just a blast. And we have a band called the Wombats, and they have a single called "Give Me a Try." And this run they've been on in America, they're from the UK, but this run has been about 2 months, and we have this series going about "Give Me a Try," and it's stuff that they haven't done but have always wanted to do. So the series was this time skydiving, and they wanted to give it a try, and so they had this reservation for 7 people to go skydiving. I've always wanted to do it. It's been on my bucket list for whatever reason. It's just something I've always wanted to do. And they only had 6 people. And I thought about it for a while. And look, my back has been screwed up for about a year and a half, severely screwed up. 2 surgeries, some major pain, chronic pain. But my life has been restricted because of it. I mean, I haven't played golf. You guys know how much I love golf. I haven't picked up a golf club in 8 months. And I just felt like it was something that, it probably wasn't the smartest idea. I knew it. But it was something that I wanted to do. And I didn't want to have another experience in my life be affected because of my back.
Gotcha.
And the back problems.
All right.
And so I took that risk. And was it the smartest thing to do? No. But did I know it wasn't the smartest thing to do? Absolutely.
Was Nadia okay with you doing it? Did you speak with her before?
I told her I was thinking about it. I didn't actually tell her. Whoa.
Ben's chair is going down while he's talking.
I told her that I was thinking about it. She said, "You're crazy." But I did not tell her I jumped until I was safely on the ground. And I got to tell you, it wasn't because you go tandem. It wasn't like I was jumping on my own.
Right, of course.
And the guy put you down really nice. And then once you sort of almost heard to stop, he says, "Okay, put your feet down." So I didn't have any of the impact of the landing. And then when they pulled the chute, that's another thing I was worried about because it looks like when you're on...
It jacks you up.
Right.
It looks because you're going so fast, but it really was actually a smooth sort of... It doesn't look as bad as when you see somebody... Because they're going terminal velocity and whatever that is dropping per second, and all of a sudden the parachute pulls so you slow down quickly, but it's not... The only place it really feels it is actually with a harness between your legs. But it wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I am so glad I did it because talk about an ultimate leap of faith. I mean, it really is. You are 15,000 feet jumping out of a plane.
That's how high you are?
Yeah, you're 12.5. We were like 12,500.
All right.
Wow.
So I'm glad I did it. It was not smart.
We're glad you made it.
And I didn't, thank God I didn't hurt my back, but it's off the bucket list.
All right. Well, you know what? I did want to talk about. I read this article about the ATF and what they are and are not allowed to do. And the ATF and the NRA, and I know it's not exactly the soft topics, but I want to talk a little bit about that when we get back after the break and a lot more here on the Miggs and Swig Show.
All right, everybody.
Pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
The conversation is about to get louder. You're listening to Miggs and Swig. Don Miggs, Ben Swig, Lisa, and JoJo. From music to marriage, from politics to parenting, from dating to deep thoughts in sports. Get ready for Miggs and Swig. Life out loud.
Let's get the show on the road.
Hey, welcome back to Miggs and Swig. Happy Saturday. Hope you're staying dry. I don't know. Is it raining out there by... where is it? Is it
Not
raining
yet.
here? I mean, it was raining
It looked cloudy
again
outside.
yesterday.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
So I just was saying during the break, I kind of hate Facebook now. I mean, I really hate Facebook. I just hate all the stupid things people post. It's always some, I don't know. And then by the way, I hate the things I post too. So I posted this thing.
Why would you hate the things that you post?
Well, I just hate
That's ridiculous to even say.
Well, I hate the
Ridiculous.
whole. There was someone where it was like they show a picture of 3 kids with their hands over their heart, and they say, "I will always honor our flag. Will you share if you agree?" And it's just I don't know. But I had found this thing from somebody, and I reposted it, and it's a picture of Trump in a wig, and it said, "Imagine a woman who showed up to a presidential debate unprepared, sniffling like a coke addict,
That's just great.
and interrupting her opponent 70 times. Let's further imagine that she's had 5 kids by 3 men, was a repeated adulterer, had multiple bankruptcies, paid 0 federal taxes, and rooted for the housing crisis in which many thousands of families lost their homes. Wait, there's more. She had never held an elected office in her life." So I wrote that and I said, if this isn't true, then please go ahead and fight it. But don't be mad at the truth. And this is exactly what I saw, and it's what I think. And the stuff that people write, including me, I don't know. I just don't get it. There was this guy like writing to me who I do not know. He says, because I said, look, in my opinion, if you're a black man, if you're black, you're gay, you're female, you're poor, I don't understand why you would vote for Trump. Now, that's not to say you can call me up and go ahead. It's 800-771-1025. That's not to say that he's not the right guy for you. I get all that. But in my opinion, when a guy comes on air and says, makes fun of like 400-pound women or all the things that he does, to me, that's not a guy I want. And this guy is like, just wrote back to me, pay attention, Don, who I don't know. Pay attention. I don't know how he got on my page. Thousands of blacks are supporting Trump. Some very gifted and bright people have come forward and said so. But it always is, if you find yourself, you're the one defending black people and you're white and you're the one telling the story of what black people are doing, but I don't have a black person calling me and they're on the same side, then I need you to shut up because you don't know, because you're not black. So stop telling me what a black person is thinking. All right, that's all I want to say.
That's good.
All right, Ben.
No, hey, I'm with you, man. The debates were Monday, and they've been talked about and done, been there. But I'm scared, man. I'm scared for this country, and not only on Donald Trump's side, but Hillary Clinton's side.
Either way,
and then you have Gary Johnson, who everybody's praising, and I know you're a fan, Jamie, and he could not just Google his MSNBC interview where he could not name one foreign leader from another country.
No, that's not true. Well, the question was, he said,
who do you admire?
No, yeah, name a foreign leader that you admire. And he said, no, I can't think of one. I can't either. Personally, how many out there do you honestly admire?
Okay. Anyways,
aside from maybe the Dalai Lama, but I don't think he's a leader of a country.
He's not a leader.
I mean, but the point is that he couldn't name. Anyways, we're not going to debate that. We're not going to debate it. But when you looked at the debate,
why that would be more? Roland is completely engaged right now.
Well,
he was dead asleep.
I'm just saying.
He sees that you guys might get into a little fracas.
The bottom line is, I'm not going to say anything that's going to change Jamie's mind.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to say anything that's going to change a Trump supporter's mind.
That's why I feel like I need to stop even saying anything. Because
no, don't stop.
We can't stop because the point is that there are people who are in the middle. Okay, there are people who
are there really?
Yes. And there's a big component of women who are going to be a deciding factor, and then college-educated white men who they call who are referred to as Romney's Republicans. And those are the people that he had like 9 out of 10, that Trump's at like 7 out of 10. So there are some undecideds. But when you look at the debates, or the debate on Monday, I just kept on saying to myself, we are so screwed.
This is the best we have.
This is the best we have. And the rest of the world is laughing at us.
Right.
Because we have a guy who, and look, everybody's saying what, Donald Trump failed and how bad his debate was and all this stuff. But if you go back to the primaries, you've been following this thing since I've been following it, he tanked in every single one of the primaries for the Republican nominee. I mean, he did the same thing. He insulted people. He interrupted people.
It doesn't seem to matter.
It didn't matter, and it's not going to matter. And Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton's campaign, all the liberal media or whatever Donald Trump wants to say, you can't take this guy lightly. There is something about him. There is something about him that he has broken every, traditional presidential taboo. He's said things that would disqualify any other candidate, yet he's the impenetrable Don. So literally he can't.
I don't know that he I mean, it just gets to me. There's a point.
What could he? I'm just sorry, but what could he possibly say at this point that's going to hurt him? What could he possibly say?
Right. That's true.
That he hasn't said.
But nothing hurts him.
It only helps him.
The part that I get really that really sort of scares me is that the glossing over of and it's no different than Hillary. And I'm not glossing over the facts. Like the things that they say about her that are true things, I get. Like the email thing, that's true. And she apologized for it. And still, she should have apologized earlier. And all that doesn't matter. To me, Like, I have a friend who literally says that the Clintons have killed people. And there's documentation. And he has the documentation. I'm saying to myself, okay, so he said, well, it's because they have all this power and money. Don't you think Trump has a lot of power and money? So
not to that degree.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not backing you up on that.
No, but do you think that Trump?
But they
if
could
Trump,
hide things
if
more
Trump
than he
could
could.
really figure out, if Trump, by the way, went
he
and
can't
found,
figure out what restroom to use.
But if he's the one that was able to find out that that Obama had a birth certificate, you would think he would go and find out if Hillary actually was having people killed. It would actually matter to him to go and find that Hillary's killing people, because that would probably win him the election.
The most disturbing thing to me is the tax return issue. And for whatever reason, he thinks that he is different than every other candidate since 1974, I think, to not release their tax returns. And to me, it is a big issue, because it's an issue of transparency, because it's going to show us. I said on the show a couple of months ago that the reason I think he's not doing it is because of his charitable givings or lack thereof. But he has some questionable business dealings with countries that it could be conflicted with the job of president. So I don't understand why, and it's not legal, or it's not required by law for him to disclose it. But I think after this one, if he gets away with not doing it, that it should be a requirement to become.
Well, that's just it, though. People are stupid. Like, they just let him get away with that.
Have you ever applied for a loan or a car mortgage? I mean, they make you give your tax returns to get a loan. Why? I mean, but to be president of the United States, we don't have to.
You don't have to show it? I don't understand that.
It's absurd.
All right.
Anyways.
Mike, you have a comment on Trump. Give us the comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw this out there. Has anyone considered that maybe he just doesn't want everybody to know what he's doing?
He is running for president of the United States, Mike.
Yeah, but he has plans in place in his head, or maybe he doesn't. But is it not a possibility that he doesn't want everyone else to know what he's doing as far as defeating ISIS, for instance? I know in the military, surprise is one of the critical components to any kind of.
So you're telling us that a man with zero military experience, who's never served a day in his life, has a plan to defeat ISIS? That's what you're trying to pass on us.
No, I'm saying he would let the subject matter experts do their job.
Right. Okay. So I guess the question is, okay, I'll give you that, Mike. All right, I'll give you that one. And that was his thing about his excuse why he hasn't, because he doesn't want to tip his hand to the ISIS. Okay.
What does that have to do with this tax return? I'm not sure.
What about the tax return, Mike? I mean, you don't care that he might have dealings with Russia?
Yeah, right. Right. That's
I mean,
the thing.
or dealings with some sour or whatever it is. Like, we need to know that stuff. I don't need to know his plan to defeat ISIS. If that's what his real strategy is, not to disclose it because he doesn't want to tip the hat, fine.
Right.
Fine.
I get it. And I don't have a problem with Mike or anybody. Again, you vote for who you really want,
that's
and I'm
beauty
okay
of the
with that.
country, right?
But I do have an issue when we're clouding all of those things together, like the ISIS thing. Let's keep. That's the one thing that he's been really good at, is not actually answering a question.
Yeah, deferring.
So if the
He's
question
really good.
is, where is your tax return? Just give us that damn answer.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about ISIS. I don't want to know, well, where's your emails? Just answer the question that I asked you. And if he can't do that, that's my issue. It's like, wait a minute. And so he was all upset that Lester was ganging up on him. No, Lester was like, answer one question and stop interrupting 70 times.
Right. Or blaming the mic.
Right.
Which I guess technically the independent bipartisan group that throws the debate says there was something wrong with his mic, but it was to the crowd. It came across fine on TV. I don't know, but I guess
he sounded fine.
I guess there was some problem, so we will give him that. But
everyone was angry at Lester, and Lester has been a registered Republican since
for decades.
decades. So he is a Republican, and he doesn't like you, Trump, because he thinks you're an idiot, and you're not representing his Republican Party.
And maybe if Donald Trump, and I don't know if Hillary did it, fact checked everything, looked on Political, looked on, she didn't say as many, half truths or lies as Trump did, but maybe if Donald Trump started telling the truth, then Lester wouldn't have to follow up with responses. Like the Iraq war thing. I mean, it's been documented that he supported it, but yet he keeps on going back to the fact that he does.
He didn't.
Right. So maybe if he had just started telling the truth, Lester wouldn't had to follow up so many times with him. But anyways, It's scary, man. That's
It's
all.
all
It's
scary.
so scary. Whether it be Hillary or whether it be Donald Trump. I mean, those are the two best people that we can present as leaders of our country.
I
and
would
the most
rather
powerful
go.
person in the world.
I would rather go and eat Taco Bell.
I'm with you.
I would rather go
I'm
and
with
take
you.
my chances with Taco Bell than with who we got for
But
president.
speaking of Taco Bell, if we had a caller who actually was in the war room of Taco Bell cooking cooking whatever they call meat, and we dropped the phone call. So if you're on listening,
What was
please
his name,
please,
Kevin?
please
Or
call
Keith
back.
or
I
Steve.
really want to know what goes on back there.
Please call
and we
back.
are thinking that if you give us the behind the scenes thing on Taco Bell, we can probably defeat ISIS. So we're gonna go to commercial break here, Miggs and Swig. When we get back, I actually do want to talk about the ATF and the NRA for a minute on this article I read by Jean Marie Laskus in Rolling Stone. So please come back after these words, Miggs and Swig.
Welcome Take two. Welcome back, everybody, to the Miggs and Swig Show here on 102.5 The Bone. We have a special guest here. You can hear that background noise. Down at Thirsty First, 119 First Avenue in St. Pete, is the Drew Garabo Show. What's going on, Drew?
Oh, hey, guys. Sorry for the brunch ambiance, but this place is acoustically, I would say, loud.
Yeah? We got a lot of people down there?
Yeah, it's a really good crowd. You know, the downtown market just opened back up in St. Pete, so you're going to get some overflow from there. But already tables are full of wonderful listeners to Drew Garabo Live. Heard weekdays at 2 on 102.5 The Bone. People are mimosaing. I see some Bloody Marys, black coffee for this guy right here. What beverage can I get you guys, Miggs and Swig?
Don's a tequila drinker.
Yeah, if you had tequila, that's really all I got.
Got it.
I will have a coffee because I am not a drinker, unfortunately, anymore. So, Drew, you're not drinking today.
Well, no, I've found that when I do these brunches, it's very difficult to move around with a great deal of dexterity as I need to say hey to people. Booze makes me sloppy, so I reserve those sloppy occasions for when I'm not technically, quote-unquote, working, although one could make the argument that talking to your fans and listeners and friends at a brunch is hardly working.
That's what or that you would need to kill the pain a little bit by drinking, so you could do your thing and shake hands and kiss babies. That probably makes it a little bit easier with a couple of mimosas in your stomach.
I think Drew loves it. Drew, do you love being out at those events, or would you rather be in the studio?
No, I would rather be at these events, like meeting our fans, because you really never get you don't know who's listening to your show. You know, radio is such a faceless medium, except even in the digital age, we don't know who these people are. So to get out there, touch them metaphorically, if not physically, it's great. Now, when it comes to doing a radio show, I'd rather be in the studio because, man, so many distractions, and we really are big into comfort, you know?
Right.
So what kind of food do they have down at the Thirsty First?
Okay, let me just drop some knowledge on you because they have some stuff here that I've never even heard of before. Check this out. Would you care for the Speakeasy grilled cheese with a sunny side up egg in the middle over hash browns? How about the Gangster's Sweet Spot vanilla cinnamon French toast stuffed with fresh strawberries and cream cheese served with maple syrup and fruit? Right?
Sold.
This is all
Yum.
at
Sold.
Thirsty First in downtown St. Pete. I ordered something they did not bring us this week, and I'm really excited about this. Peep this, yo. 2 poached eggs.
Tell us, gangsta.
The bootlegger's toast. Now, I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast, but I just told the waitress that I'd like the bootlegger's toast.
Kicking it live. Little freestyle by Drew Garabo.
Thank you. Yes, like ZZ Top did a song called Legs, this thing starts off with 2 poached eggs. I love the smell of a new can of Play-Doh. I'm going to move on next because they got them tomato. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
I could go
Drew,
on and on.
you could.
2 poached eggs, tomato, basil, olive oil, balsamic reduction, causing much destruction, queso fresco, and avocado smash, served with toasted points, because like Sublime, I smoke 2 joints.
Oh, man.
Wow, Drew.
Word.
So, Drew, what if people want to come see you, how long are you going to be there today?
Well, we'll be here until at least 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I know they serve brunch well into the afternoon, 2, 3, who knows. I'd park down at that Bayfront, Bayside High School, whatever the Bay thing is with the parking garage. And it's a lovely day to saunter outside, come down to Thirsty First and beautiful DT to the S to the P, and hang out with the LOD.
There you go.
Wow.
Drew Garabo. Hey, Drew, is there any cruise on your the Drew Garabo live cruise on the horizon?
You know, through my vast radio career, which has spanned 2 decades, there has been talk floated of a cruise, and I've been on a cruise or two. I've been on the Mike Calta cruise, had a blast, been on a couple in Orlando. It's cool to go on other people's, but I don't know, man. Something about being trapped on a
sounds
boat.
like hell, right?
Yeah. And especially with the Category 5 enema coming for that boat. Had they not landed today on the Mike Calta cruise, they would have received one hell of a Category 5 enema.
Wow.
Well, Drew, thank you for taking your time to come to our little humble Saturday show and enjoy your brunch. And if you're listening and you're near Thirsty First, 119 First Avenue, St. Pete, go see Drew Garabo. Thank you,
Thanks.
Drew.
I've enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
As always.
As always.
Stop lying.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the menu right now. Listen to this dessert they have for Thirsty First. Peanut butter chips, chocolate chips, charred marshmallows served in a skillet with cinnamon pita chips.
I need it.
That doesn't appeal to
I
me
need
at all.
it. Except for the cinnamon. I'm not a huge
I'm
cinnamon.
not a huge cinnamon fan either, but oh my gosh, their food sounds good. They have a kale Caesar.
The French toast
Get something
seemed
healthy.
like it was out of this world.
Now, do they have any C-grade beef wrapped in a tortilla shell? Because
It
I'm
doesn't
down
say. It does not say.
Hey, real quick, I want to let you guys know that our upcoming first cruise has already been completely booked. Completely booked. We just talked about it, a half an hour ago. And JJ, what's the latest?
All seats are taken, sold
Wow.
out. So we're going to be looking at 2017 taking off for the next Migs and Swig.
Will we maybe make that one up to a rowboat? Or something with
like a
maybe
canoe?
A canoe. So all 2 seats have already been sold. Look at that. That is, that's the power radio. We announced it, and we were sold out within the first half an hour.
Migs and Swig.
Migs and Swig.
Wow.
Dinghy Cruise.
All right, you know what I want to talk about?
Tell us.
Just because this is a really good way to get right into this conversation. Before the break, twice already now, I've spoken about the ATF, and I don't know why I'm obsessed with this, but there are a couple things. Again, people are going to maybe want to call in 800-771-1025 and tell me why I'm wrong to have this conversation. But I don't care if you own a gun. Let's just get that straight. You can have a gun. Good luck with it. Try not to shoot your child or have your child shoot you. Good luck with shooting yourself in the leg. All the dumb things people do with guns. Because the one thing I have not heard, and we own a gun, but I have yet to read the article where the guy that happened to have a gun saved X number of people because he happened to have the gun on him. So he was protecting himself. Go ahead, Jimmy. Do you have something?
Yeah. Do you remember the shooting in Arizona? It was at a public place in Gabby Giffords.
You're right.
Oh,
yes, I do.
And the police didn't get there in time.
He took care of
and
it.
There was a guy with a gun. He was legal carrying, and he took the guy out, and he did save lives.
Save lives. Good. So there's the one.
There are.
And there are. No,
stories.
I know, but there are way more where it goes poorly. So again, I don't care if you have the gun. I just wonder if you think. Do you think there should be more gun shops in the U.S. than there are Starbucks, McDonald's, and supermarkets combined?
Are there really?
There are.
Come on.
Combined.
I'm fine.
I'm throwing a flag on that one.
Yeah.
Combined.
No way.
I think we need to get our fact checkers on
Got
it.
it.
JJ, can you get on that?
McDonald's and Starbucks combined.
Starbucks, McDonald's, and supermarkets. Let me tell you this. There are as many gun dealers in America, almost as many, as gas stations. There are a total of, what did you say?
All right, go ahead.
129,817 gun dealers in the country, which includes retail stores, which is 51,438, and collectors, which is 62,000. Pawn shops, which there are 7,000.
Oh,
And
okay, so
meanwhile-
you're
That includes those.
and you put. Do they throw Walmart in there too?
Okay. So then let's just go by what you guys want to talk about. There are more by itself. There are more gun retailers in America. There are 35,000 or so supermarkets, and there are about 55,000 just straight gun shops. That does not seem like the way. It doesn't seem right.
Why don't we see more of them though?
They're everywhere.
They're
now
everywhere.
think about it. They are everywhere.
Maybe I just don't look. I don't know.
There are a lot of them. To that degree, you're right. But the thing is, they're small and they're little shops in their strip malls. So you drive past them all the
Right.
time. You just don't notice.
You just don't
but
know
they
it's
still
there.
have the guns in them. So here's what's crazy. This ATF article. Do you know that there's no registration system? And I was saying this a little bit before, and I think Jamie was like, no, that can't be true. But the ATF is not allowed to have computers. The NRA has been fighting it really hard, saying it will hurt the gun owners. So I took down all these notes from this article I read, and it was by Jean Marie Laskus, and it was in North Carolina, about this place in North Carolina. We can trace E. coli right now. So if you get something from meat, Lisa, right, we can go and find out where it came from, all that stuff.
The source of that,
But
right.
we can't really trace guns. And I would love, like, look, our brother-in-law, Chad Chronister, is a colonel in the sheriff's department. And if they're listening, I would love for him to tell me where this article is wrong. I want to know because I want to believe it can't be right.
Well, no, I agree with you because so many people, once you own a gun yourself, you're allowed to sell it to another third party.
Right.
And because you're not actually a salesman or you don't own a business, just one individual selling it to another individual, there's no reason to track that is what basically
or
their version is.
there's no background check required. So
Right.
look, if I want to go sell a car, right, and I want to go sell my car on eBay or for sale sign in the window like the old days, I have to go through, and that person who buys it has to go register it, and then I have to go to pay tax. So I don't understand in guns. I mean, I think unfortunately we've reached a point of it being too late because there's so many unregistered guns or unregistered. So I unfortunately think it's too late, but it just astounds me what it takes to go, what I have to do legally to sell a car and what the buyer.
But what you can do with a gun.
But what you
Check
can do
this out, Ben.
Check it.
Check this out, baby. Since 1968, more Americans have died from gunfire than from all of the wars combined since.
And that's just Americans.
That's that is
Americans.
reported in 2014. There have been 33,599 killings. So what they do at the ATF, it's just boxes. It's microfilm, and that's how they identify these guns. And they run about 1,500 traces a day. And they're literally, a lot of times, they're looking in boxes that are, because it's not even on microfilm yet, 370,000 traces a year with about 50 people to do it. They get about 2 million sales slips every month that they basically have to photocopy. Does that sound insane to anyone but me? They're not allowed to put it in the computer. So if you go to a gun store, and anyone's a gun owner, owns a gun store, I'd like to know, even if they put it in their computer, they go, oh, we're going to do this fancy computer thing with our guns. When it gets to the ATF, they're not allowed to keep it on computer. They literally have to photocopy what's there and then put it into something. So there's this form 4473, and it's a form that makes it all very legit. But it's a form it's not even in a database. Where does it reside? In the same store you bought the gun from. So now this form just sits there. It's like having an alcoholic do inventory control at the corner deli. It's like no, to me it's like it's insane. It's like so now you buy a gun from me, I don't have to really report it. I get to write it on paper and we just put it on the side. And they literally staple all these papers together at the ATF when they get them. And they've been as high as like 15,000 boxes backlogged.
Filled with these papers.
So how about just a gun registry? Just as a tool to stop some of the killings. I'm not saying no to the gun lobby. I'm not saying any of that. But it would give the government a tool to confiscate the guns, but only the guns that there are problems with. Like, I don't understand the whole thing, but Daryl may be able to inform me better than I can inform myself. Daryl, help me out here.
Yeah, there was a little-known law enacted in 2013. The bullet and the shell must be microprinted with a number.
Mm-hmm.
And you buy it at Walmart, they can trace it right back to you.
So so you buy that, and then chases it to the bullet at Walmart. Every bullet?
Yeah, every single one in the package that you buy now after 2013.
So now the problem is they're not allowed.
Ammo, they can't.
So Daryl, the problem is they're not allowed to put that into an actual system that can be viewed by anybody. It literally has to be done by paper. So that's the part that's crazy. So now if I have a problem, guess who I have to call? I literally, if there's a gun now, say you buy, something happens and there's a bullet, and now it happens in Michigan. They have to, you know who they call? They don't call law enforcement, anyone. The ATF has to call Walmart that you bought it from. Speak to somebody there. Literally has to call them, and they have to go through paperwork. And sometimes the stores have closed, and then that paperwork gets put somewhere else. So it literally has to be paperwork, and that's the part that I'm objecting to.
Well, Daryl, I have a question because I didn't actually know that. But Daryl, if you go buy a gun and it's registered and the bullets are registered to you, and then you go sell it to me, which doesn't require a background check or anything, and I go use it in a homicide, it gets traced back to you?
Yeah, but then I'd say who I sold it to.
Yeah, but now
But
how
it comes down to
But
that.
yeah,
So you're
before-
gonna rat on me, Daryl? Is that what you're saying? Dirty rat. Don't
no,
be a
you know
rat.
what I mean, Daryl? I get that.
Snitch.
That's going down for you.
Snitch.
Yeah. So
You're a snitch.
So I'm good with that. With Daryl, with him having that thing. That is a preventative to some degree. But like Ben just asked, so then now we have to. So what if it was sold to a known someone who maybe is even on the watch list, and he says, "Well, I gave it to someone else." So it doesn't make any sense. Just remember, there are more retail gun outlets in America than supermarkets. You consider that 55,000. I'm wondering how badly we need to arm ourselves. It's more than food, apparently. And if that tells you it's big business. So it is not about arming ourselves at this point. It's big business. It's the same thing that the same people who are fighting for their guns are railing against drug manufacturers, saying it's big business and that's why they're pushing this stuff on you. It's the same thing. It's about somebody getting rich quick. And I know Jamie's going through his head going, I don't know if it actually adds up completely. Do you not agree with me there,
Something
Jamie?
smells really fishy about this, but I'm not well enough enamored with this subject to know. Like guns, whatever. But it's something is off there. I can't put my finger on it though.
There are 4 times as many gun shops as a McDonald's.
That can't possibly be true.
4 times.
Here's the thing that I understand. My last stat, and I might be wrong, but
So
I
fast
think,
food isn't what's killing
I think
us.
I heard a couple years ago that there were over 11,000 Starbucks in the United States.
Yeah.
So
and there are 55,000
Google
gun
that.
stores.
So I'm wondering if what they're classifying gun stores as. I mean, obviously
gun shop.
So obviously Walmart would be in there because they are huge.
Just gun shops is about 55,000. Then there are a couple other things, which is what I just
There's
collectors.
Into the mic, please.
There's 129,817 gun dealers in the country.
I just said that.
Which
We're reading the same thing.
I'm breaking it apart. So with that, like you said, 51,438 are the retail stores. Collectors are 61,000.
Yeah, that's the
Pawn
thing I
shops
just
are
said.
7,000.
We
I'm
could do a
reading it from a
rewind on
different
that.
source, so that it's obviously is true. And there's only 14,000 McDonald's.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
And 14,000 McDonald's, 11,000
I mean,
Starbucks. And,
yeah,
so your
that-
numbers do
the
work.
right
I mean,
to bear arms falls short for me because that's not even the argument. It's like if you're someone making money off it, that's a whole different thing. And I know we have John wants to talk. And John, we're going to talk to you about after the break. Where we are talking about the ATF, and it's not about gun. It's not about you owning your gun. It's not about any of that. We just want to talk about.
we do
gun
not
control.
want to take your guns away.
No, fire them at will. More Miggs and Swig.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, Miggs and Swig, we don't have a lot of time left. I want to get right back into this. We got a lot of people calling 800-771-1025. The Bone. Ben just fell over. I'm not sure what happened to him. Mr. Swig,
I'm
you
good.
are okay. Good.
Good.
So we're talking about guns, and here's some crazy facts. So that 130,000 or so gun dealers doesn't even tell you how many guns are out there. That's just retailers. In 2013, Jamie, this is for you because I know you just said you don't care about this, but I'm going to make you listen to me. U.S. gun makers rolled out almost 11 million guns, and we imported another almost 6 million. I'm not making those numbers up. You can watch that.
I believe 17
And
million sounds about right.
It's estimated that most gun owners, on average, own 8 guns. So you look that up. And the numbers are similar for the 5 years before that. I don't know. How do you argue, and I wrote this down on the plane. I'm not sure if I even have it written right. How do you argue that this isn't the answer for our country and the excuse of right to bear arms? It falls short because that's not the argument. I do believe it's people, when you're saying don't let them take our freedom, those people typically, when you kind of do the background on the people who are yelling the most about not taking the freedom in power, it's because it's really don't take our money. because for me, I'm scared to death. I have kids that are in school, and we're trying to make the school safer, and I'm afraid. They just did a drill the other day, and kids, where do you go in the school if there's an armed gunman there and all this stuff? And I would just like to do our best to maybe not have this keep happening.
Well, yeah, and those mass shootings that you're talking about, schools and all that stuff, is good for gun business. And
right.
With
of
the
course.
AR-15s or whatever, whenever there's that particular gun is used in, a mass shooting or homicide, you can't get one. You can't get
Right.
bullets. You can't get. And I know a lot of people who stockpile them because once it happens, they're backlogged. So mass shootings are good for gun business.
Right, and the problem is there are too many of those stories and not enough of the good guy actually saving people from the bad guys.
Right.
Like, that doesn't happen nearly enough because you can't predict where to go. But more than all that would be me asking Ben or myself, if we had a gun on us, to go ahead and now save. It's hard to shoot the target, by the way. Go ahead and save us. Would be the same as saying to me, hey, put on some skates. I want you to play goalie for the Lightning. And then actually get the goal. Shooting a gun is hard. Go try to do it. It's hard to hit a target is hard. So how about, do we train anyone to stay sharp with a gun? Is it just so owning the gun's one thing? Knowing how to load it and shoot it is a whole other thing.
Well, people do that all the time. People who enjoy target shooting, they go out and practice, things like that. So that's a separate issue from the guns. I think Ben brought up earlier, we're at the point of no return. You can't stop this. There's no way. You can't get rid of all the guns. And tracking them apparently is ridiculous because they're using paper at the ATF.
No, the only other place you can't use technology, you got to be Amish. I mean, you can't use technology with guns.
So do we know how many Amish have guns? Do we have a study on this?
Yeah,
they're man-made. They're made out of wood.
They're
but
wood guns.
They're Don threw out some
rubber
stats,
bands.
and
by the
we
way,
have our own.
On that paper, they don't even want your name. Just so everyone knows. I mean, if we do a tracking thing, I don't even want people's names. I just want to know where the gun is. It'd be nice to know that. But we have a million people want to talk about that. Let's get Jed. He wants to compare guns to religion. I want to hear about that.
Hey, guys, I certainly don't want to make any comparisons. I'm not a pro-gun individual, but I think the issue is, much in the same way gun proponents huddle under the Second Amendment umbrella, is like saying the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and how it pertains to religion, people aren't required under an amendment to state what religion they practice. So as long as the way the system's currently set up, where they do have the shield of an amendment behind them,
Right.
then they're not held accountable.
Right, and I agree with you. I mean, I don't think Don, Lisa, JJ, or any of us have ever said that we are, anti-gun or don't think that it's a right. It's a constitutional right. It's what this country was formed on. But I think at some point, if I tried to try on a jacket that I wore when I was 3 years old today, the chances are it doesn't fit. And I think especially with the Second Amendment, and even maybe the First, I don't know, but I think that it doesn't fit anymore because when they made the Second Amendment, what they have, they had they got musket loaders, and they didn't have AR-15s and all these others. So I think at some point we need to put some restrictions on the type of ammunition is. I think everybody has a right to bear arms if you haven't broken the law, and it's to protect your family, and that's great. But I think at some point we need to take a look. And unfortunately, I hate to be Debbie Downer, but I don't think anything's going to change. The NRA is just too strong. I mean, you look at the no-fly list zone, or people on the no-fly list shouldn't be able to buy guns, and there should be some checks that come out of the background check. That's simple. I think Donald Trump even agreed with it during the debate. Yet,
in that case, I'm against it.
What? Yeah, but the question is, why hasn't that simple thing been able to get passed? That is just a simple. If you're on a no-fly list because you're a questioned, terrorist, whether it be right or wrong, why couldn't you go buy a gun? It's just, that's just simple 2 + 2 = math.
How do the lawyers reason that? That's what I want to hear. I want to know what their arguments are.
They're saying because people, it's funny how it switches now, right? But they're saying that because a lot of people on the no-fly list zone get put on there and they're not terrorists.
Really
they're
terrorists.
Right. So that's the rationale that put in the people. But Don threw out a bunch of stats, and I think David's been on the line for a while and wants to fact-check Don. David, welcome to the Biggs and Swig Show.
Hey, guys. Actually, I don't want to dispute what you're saying. I just wanted explain why you don't see as many stores. Somebody was saying that, with that many stores, you'd see them all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you do. Every time you go down like Hillsborough Avenue or Dale Mabry, you see all those pawn shops. Those are considered gun dealers because they pawn guns and then those stores sell them. You know what I mean? And,
right.
And just even individuals like you and I or anybody could go get a gun dealer license and not necessarily have a brick and mortar building. So that's a statistic that it's probably a true statistics, but it's not something that they probably should have explained a little more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, we appreciate it, David, and thanks for listening. We have a lot of callers full of calls, so we're just gonna go through these. John, what do you want to say?
Hey guys, I understand that y'all don't want to take the guns away, but how is having a registry going to stop a criminal from getting a gun?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I would rather us get rid of some of the guns, to be really honest. I mean, I think it's to some degree. Somehow there's got to be some control. I'm not sure how many people should own 8 guns, and that's what the average gun owner has. I just have trouble understanding what that's
How
about.
well has taking away the guns in Chicago worked?
You're right.
California,
You are 100% right.
Yeah, John, I think that speaks to what I was saying about that, at this point it's, and I hate to keep on saying, but is it too late? Because there are already so many guns on the street, and we appreciate the phone call. Steve,
I wish there was an easy answer, folks, too.
Steve,
but go ahead,
you don't like my jacket.
Yeah. I didn't really care too much for that because if you think about it, when all that was written, when the Second Amendment was written, even the governments and everyone else had muskets.
Right.
Everyone had muskets. So if you were to say to have any chance to defend yourself against something where there's a lot more firepower than you have, at least in a chance to have, like, I'm a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And
thank you.
One thing that they told me I appreciate it. It's just a job, but one thing that they told me when I got my concealed carry permit was that I only waited 4 days to get it. And it was because they said that you're a lot more better trained than what a concealed carry permit training has. And if things were to happen, then you would know what to do instead of just blind firing, which is something I am a little bit against about. I think people need to learn how to shoot a lot better. Yeah, I mean, because if somebody gets scared, they'll just blind fire, and they might actually cause more damage than they will try to cause good.
Well, that's actually my point with you. I thank you very much for the call. I'm sorry we have so many callers, but Steve is 100% right on that. If you told me everybody who had a gun had to go through the same sort of training that they do to
be a police officer,
get a car,
right?
I mean, just actually take some tests. I would feel a lot better about that. And I'm going to, Jamie at some point is going to tell us we have to stop doing this. But Scott, pawn shops and gun dealers.
Yeah, well, one caller already made a comment about the pawn shops, but also factored in there in that statistic is also like sporting goods shops. Any place that sells guns becomes part of that 100,000.
130,000.
Huh?
Yeah,
130,000.
Walmart,
but the
Dick's.
facts are just 55,000 are just straight gun shops. 55,000, 4 times as many as McDonald's.
That would be an argument for the writer to state that what does he classify as straight gun shop? Because a straight gun shop could be considered Walmart because they have guns.
How about we don't need 17 million guns to be? I don't know that we need that much access.
Here's the other thing. What was the Second Amendment in Act for?
To protect the citizens against the government.
It was to keep the government in check, allow the citizens to resist the government if the government ever got to a place where it became hostile to the citizen. Got it. And when you take that into consideration, that's one of the preeminent structures that our forefathers warned against. As soon as they take your guns, they'll start taking your rights.
So, Scott, is it okay for an individual to be out or individuals to be outgunned from the police and have more weapons than police? Do you think the police should be?
The police should get first dibs on guns. I mean, therein lies the problem, and that's the other part that your numbers didn't point out is how many of those 16 million guns that were sold in the United States were sold into law enforcement or into the military or, into these different capacities? How many of these are private owners versus
the average gun owner has 8 guns. So that alone, to me, average gun owner has 8 guns. It seems a little scary to me.
Yeah, I want to take Bob because he might have the answer. The no-fly list, and we were talking about it, and I wasn't sure why. Bob, do you have an explanation on why that hasn't passed?
Well, just I heard a good point on that is that there's no cut and dry due process for getting either on the no-fly list or off. So you can't limit someone's rights with something that can be done on. You can be put on the no-fly list on hearsay from your neighbor. So there's no cut and dry way getting on and off, so you're not afforded due process under the law. What I did see is they were trying to pass a law that the no-fly list would enable the dealer to hold up the sale for an additional couple of days while they did process additional background check. But that's something that, because it was proposed by one side, the other side stopped, and what the other side proposed that was similar, the one side stopped. It's part of the parties just not being able to get along.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, Bob. And it's interesting. Look, we kicked the bee's nest, like always. I mean,
I think we got to probably be done with that. Jamie, am I right? I mean, Jamie, I'm a novice at this thing, but it seems like there are 200 more callers.
We've never gotten this many calls.
We could do this for hours.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time.
And it's one of those things like we talked about earlier with the debates and your presidential pick. You're not going to change anybody's mind.
And Bill, Andrew, Mike, Bob, Dustin, and is it Eli?
Yeah,
we so appreciate you guys still being on the line. And honestly, we're not being chicken. And whether you agree with us or don't, I love the fact that we can have these discussions. It means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to Ben and Lisa, and JJ is asleep. And I know it matters a lot to us, though, but we can't keep talking about it.
So you guys carry? I mean, you have a gun?
I don't carry.
I believe you have a gun in your house?
There's a gun that's locked up
in our safe.
Locked up, which is probably not the best place for it. But what I did just
no one else can get into the safe except you and
But if they get in the house, we're going to be trouble.
You're going to what was it?
No, I can get into the safe in a matter of 10 seconds.
I mean, if Mo comes moseying on into my house some late night, I got that gun ready in attention. But what I do have now is a taser.
I have a taser,
but
too.
one of the long distance tasers. Like I could hit Roland from here, drop him in the head, and just hold on to his ass. Put him on the ground. I'm about to get down, Roland.
We should do that next week.
You want to do that?
Tase Roland?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Have you ever been tased, Roland?
Roland, will you do it?
I've never been tased.
Will you do it?
How
much money involved?
$300.
That's a good.
$300.
We'll get you.
Are you serious?
Peanut butter sandwich.
Peanut butter sandwich.
No, I'll give you $300.
I'll do it.
Right.
You can tase me.
As long as that's no rules against paying somebody to get teased.
I don't know. We better check with our attorneys on this.
But if he does, we might have to get Roland to get tased.
I mean, I got to find out legally if I'm allowed.
Yes, find out.
It should be fine.
Roland doesn't look like he's the healthiest guy. How's your health, Roland?
We don't need a heart attack happen.
We'll just have him sign a waiver.
Do you eat good food, Roland? How's that heart going?
Do you eat Taco Bell?
Taco Bell, main staple.
All right, so
and
Roland.
And there was one other caller, Bill, who didn't want someone misinterpreting the Constitution. I get it, and we'd love to talk about that too. But did you want to do something? We want to do your end of show?
Do the final seconds?
Go ahead.
Wrap it up?
Start with Benjamin.
Okay, new segment here to wrap up the show. Everybody gets 20 seconds, exactly 20 seconds, at the end of which they have a buzzer go off. You're not allowed to go over, and if you go under, you got to keep talking. Ben, 20 seconds on the clock.
I just want to say it's been a great show, and it's a great conversation that we've had, and what a great country we live in that we can have these discussions and we can disagree and we can fight, but at the end of the day, everybody has a right to their opinions, and I'd much rather be living here than other countries where you might get killed.
Ooh, I don't know what to talk about.
Okay, well, that's a shame because you're up next. Don.
Oh, happy birthday, Asher.
No, give it to Don.
I am Don. 20 seconds.
You got it.
And go.
I attended a funeral yesterday for a friend. Her name was Charlotte Horn, and I want to tell you that 500 people or so showed up to honor this woman's life. She was a wonderful woman. She raised the bar. She fought cancer for 8 years and was courageous, and she showed her family was courageous. And I was very happy to have been there, and I was honored to have known this woman.
That was so touching.
Has Don yet to go under?
No.
No.
My over-under
Well,
is...
no-
Yeah, exactly.
No, I've gone every week. I've done it twice. And
You're
one
already
week I
over,
was
and
5
now you're
seconds
over.
under.
You're over chitter-chatter.
Okay,
Speaking of over, we got to get out of here before going to Mo's show. And Lisa.
So this week, Dawn and I are traveling to New York City, and on Tuesday we are helping to host an event for the Innocence Project, and their mission is to free the staggering number of innocent people who remain incarcerated and to bring reform to the justice system responsible for their unjust imprisonment. And I can't wait
to be there.
Shoot. Oh, I got it right last week or whatever. No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, that's all right.
I was under 20 seconds.
All right, everybody. This is the Miggs and Swig Show. Thank you for being with us. JoJo will be back next week. And actually, we will not. JoJo will be here alone, probably
Alone.
with Mo and I don't know who else, Jamie and Roland. You guys be good to yourselves and each other. See you next week, Miggs and Swig.